Hey Michelle, so this is my attempt at showing you this. I actually went back and worked it up, and it's actually a lot trickier than I originally thought listening to it. The sort of basic melody, segment is not so bad. But then he does all these cool things in the middle, and then like extra notes here and there that really make it pop, but are really hard. And so we're just going to do like the simple version, which still sounds really good. The bones of the thing are there. And if you have someone playing with you, then they can kind of fill in those notes and it sounds great. So this would be more like something you would play if you had another guitar player with you playing rhythm. Okay. So we're going to start all the way up here, pinky finger on our 10th fret. You can tell it's the 10th fret because it's 2 frets away from our double dot. Double dot is always 12th fret on every single guitar. Some guitars have different dotting types, but usually it's this: 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th. So we've got 10th fret with our pinky and 7th fret with our pointing finger. And we're going to do pull-offs. So 1 stroke with the pick and then down and away. And practice that for a while because that's heavily used in this. So all the phrases that have this particular pull off are 2 in a row. So ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay. Once we do that, now we're going to put our pinky on the 10th fret of the B string. Keep our pointer finger down on the 7th fret. Play an upstroke on that note, and then go to our root note, which is our 8th fret on the B string. So, okay, so the next phrase in the record is, but it sounds pretty much just as fine without the difficult slide. So we're just going to play 10th fret now with our pointer finger, so we've shifted up on the B string. This is kind of the tricky part. So 10th, 12th, and then go up to the E string, but we got to play the 12th again. So we got to tuck our pinky underneath. And then, 10th fret on the E string, and then pinky back on the 12th fret here, and just kind of give it a bum, bum, bum. So, one more time. B string, 10th, 12th, E string, 12th, 10th, B string, 12th, E string, 10th, B string, 12th. Okay. That's sort of the odd one out. The rest of them kind of start with that same original pattern, which is here. We're just going to repeat that first one. So it's first phrase, second phrase up here, and then we repeat the first phrase for our third one. So right there. That's it. Okay. Now we start, every other phrase from here starts the same way. Excuse me. But this time, we're going to actually play our second note after the pull-offs down here instead of here. So on our 8th fret with our middle finger instead of 10th fret with our pinky. We're going to go and reach all the way down here to our, 10th fret on the G string. So, and this is a little bit tricky, maybe the hardest one. And this is our G7 chord. And now we're going to go to our 4 chord, which is C. So we've been over the chord of G the whole time. Then we play that phrase, which we just learned, which is kind of like our G7. And where we're going next is our C. So we're here. Okay. Now this next one starts exactly the same way. We're just changing the low note to our 9th fret instead of our 10th fret. We're going to play that with our ring finger. So same thing. All the same, and then here's where we change. And now we have this chord that sounds like an E minor, but it's really over the C. It's a C major 7, which is really nice. There. And then we're going to play this kind of spicy one, which is our E flat, which is our, what is that, 8th fret. And then just drop that 1 to our 7th fret. So skip the B string entirely this time, only time you'll do that, and just go bum, bum. So that whole last couple of phrases. The same as the first one. So that's our C chord. Okay, now the last phrase, which is over our 5 chord, which he plays up here, but he does this crazy bar thing, which is really difficult. We're actually going to play this down here. You could actually play the whole thing down here. And it's actually a lot easier, but the sparkliness of it being up here is really, really nice, especially when you have a guitar player kind of playing rhythm with you, because it kind of separates out the voices. If you play it down here, it'll also sound great, and it's easier to play, so it's up to you. But this last phrase, I do recommend that you play down here, which is going to the 5 chord. So it's just an octave lower. Unfortunately, we have an open string here, so it's just 3-0, 3-0, and I'm just pulling off. I'm not hitting 2 pick strokes. So 1 pick stroke, pull off, 1 pick stroke, pull off. Same thing as before. And now 2nd fret G string, down, open B string, up. And so now we're going to play our C note down here. So we've got 3rd fret A, open D, 2nd fret G, open B. So we're skipping the E strings, and we're just playing down, up, like a cross-picking thing, like New River Train. And then we've got this last one here, which is super cool. This is really useful for guitar playing in general, especially in this genre. It's a great G lick. We're going middle finger, 4th fret, G string, pointer finger, 3rd fret, B string. And I'm also going to play this open D each time. You don't have to, but I think it sounds nice. We're just going to move this shape down 1 fret each time, and then land on our, specifically this G chord. You can play different G chords later when you start singing, although I do think this one's still the best. Even if you play like that, that's fine. But for what we're doing here, we listen to that top voice. It wants to resolve to that open B, which you can only get with this G chord or this one. If you do the full G chord, then you're playing 3rd fret on the B string. So then that voice would be, which is a little too bright, I think, for this. So, and it's also easier to get to when you play the ring finger high G chord there. And then I always end it with which is just a hammer-on chuck with the middle finger there on the 2nd fret of the A. So open to hammer-on 2nd, chuck, and then boom chuck on the G. So that whole last part. Okay, I'm going to try to do the whole thing. I know it's been a super long video, sorry, but it's nice to see it, hopefully. I may mess up, so if I do, so be it. Sorry. blank. That was terrible. Let me try one more time. C chord. Okay.